All right. This is our last video for week 6. We're on video number 7. We're going to be talking about surface area. Surface area. Now, if you will take a look at our star reference sheet, there is no surface area on our star reference sheet, not in 7th grade. You will see it next year in 8th grade, but for now, we're going to go back to what we learned, and we're going to talk about nets. We're going to talk about surface area and nets. Okay, so let's take a look. So the face of a three-dimensional object, okay, or the faces, sorry, not the face, faces of a three-dimensional figure are any of the surfaces, okay, or any of the surfaces that includes the base. The base themselves, okay, the base of a three-dimensional figure, it names that shape. Okay, remember, a prism has two bases, okay, and they are parallel to each other, and they do not touch. This seems awful familiar. Yes, you're absolutely right. This is familiar because we've already gone through that. Now, the vertex, okay, is the corner of a three-dimensional figure. And lastly, the edge is a line segment that joins two faces. Okay, the line segment that joins two faces. Okay, so for example, let's take a look at this problem, or excuse me, these figures. Okay, so we have, there's a base on the rectangular pyramid. There are two bases on a rectangular prism. Okay, so the base. Okay, I've got this one right here. Okay, base. Okay, so then you have these are your edges. Okay, so those would be edges. Those aren't the only edges. All of the edges for those. Okay, there's an edge here. Okay, so I just want to make sure that that you had plenty of examples of edges. Okay, so then when you have the vertex, okay, technically, there's a vertex. All the corners. Okay, all the corners have a vertex, with the plural of vertex is vertices. Okay, and then come over here and say, yep, those are vertices. Okay, all right, so then now we're going to take a look at, let's see, make sure I didn't mention anything. Eggs, vertex, base. Okay, all right, we're good. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at the nets. When you look at the nets, a net is a two-dimensional composite figure, okay, and when you fold it up, that net creates a three-dimensional object. That net creates a three-dimensional object, okay? All solid figures have specific nets, okay, and we've seen before how you can fold these nets up and create this cube, okay, all except this last one. This last one does not, okay? All right, so when you take a look at nets, all right, and so what you're doing is with each net, you can unfold a three-dimensional object because you're trying to find these surface areas, what we're trying to find, but this is what these nets are, okay? And then when you fold them down, you're able to find the surface area themselves. So that's what you're looking at with nets. We're just trying to make sure that you understand that when you fold this up, this is you can see the triangles on either end. This is a triangular prism, for example. All right, and this one has a triangle, but this one, okay, I'm sorry, let's see, this would be shape A, B, C, D, and E. Okay, so this goes with shape B, okay. How about the second one? This is the second one. What does this shape go to? Okay, shape D, very good. Okay, so then we've got a rectangular pyramid that goes with shape C. Excellent. Okay, the next one is a triangular pyramid. This goes with E. And finally, this goes with A. Okay, we talked about that quite a few times. Okay, we're going to go through nets. All right, surface area, okay, of a cube or rectangular prism. Okay, the surface area is the total covering of the covering on the faces. And so what we did is that you take a look at these, and each of these faces, okay, so if this is my base and this is my base, those match E and F. Okay, but then you've got the front and the back. All right, that matches with B and D. Go green. Okay, finally, you've got the side, those sides that match up with A and C. And so when you look at each one of those, you see that they're all 11 centimeters because they're all rectangles, right? So they're all 11 centimeters. And as you go through each one, you see that A this is 3 on that measurement. This measurement is a 4. This is a 3. That's a 4. Okay? So as you measure each one of those, you can find the area of each one of those pieces. Okay? And then you'll find that this one is 11 times 3, which is 33. That means the other green one is 33. This one is 11 times 4, which is 44. The other one is 44. Okay? And then this is where it's tricky. As this folds over, that means this piece is a 3. Okay, that piece is a 3. So this means this is a 3 times 4, which is 12. That's a 12. So then that means that F is a 12. So A is 33, B is 44, 33, 44. I'm going to let you take a picture and see this in a minute. 12 and 12. Total surface area is 178. Remember, area is always squared. Okay, so that's what we have to do for each one of these, is find the total surface area. Okay, for this for each of these figures. So the total surface area is the covering of the area of all faces that include the bases. Okay. All right, and so I'm gonna go through very quickly. Basically, I just did a rectangular prism. Okay, but when you break it up, you've got to look through that. So I'm not gonna do that example on the bottom because I did the example on the top. Okay, so that's the rectangular prism. Okay. Let's see. Triangular prism. Okay, it's going to be the same thing. So the triangular prism. Okay, there are 3 rectangular faces and 2 triangular bases. Okay, so remember that the bases of the objects do not touch. So you've got to look at, break each one of them down. So the shape 1 is our triangle. Okay, shape 2 would be our rectangle. And make sure that each one of them match as far as their dimensions. So this is 6, this is 6, that one is 6. Okay, so then all of these lengths are 8.5. Okay, so the formula for a triangle is B times H, which is base times height. So the base over here on the left side is 6. Okay, and our height is, okay, what's the height? I'm sorry. I heard somebody tell me, Mr. Gerald, that's not right. 1/2 base times height is my triangle. I apologize. 1/2. Okay, so then I've got to come back in. Thank you for that. I got a little too ahead of myself. The base is 6. Okay, the height is 5.2. So that area is 15.6. I'll let you do all that math later. Okay, so then the rectangle will be, that is where the base times height Okay, then the area is 6 times 8.5. So that gives me 51 inches squared. Now that's each one of those. But how many triangles are there? Two triangles. Okay, so there's two triangles. How many rectangles? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's 3 rectangles. Okay, so you'll say 15.6 times 3. Okay, that would give me, I did it again. 15.6 times 2, which is 31.2. Okay, then you get 51 times 3, which gives me 153. So then you're going to add up 153 plus 31.2. That will give me 184.2 square inches. I know I went through this very quickly, but surface area is all it is composite figures. Okay, you're just opening up and each of these three-dimensional figures into nets. All right, and so very similarly, as we come over to pyramids, okay, if the pyramid is composed of a base, okay, and triangular faces, all right, remember it's named by the shape of the base, okay, and now the lateral height. You've got your phones on, you got your computers, look up lateral, okay, but the height of the sides, which is also the slant height, that's the height of the faces, okay, not the height of the shape, all right, and so we're going to come down here. I'll give you a second to take a picture of that. All right, so let's take a look at this bottom one. This is going to be very painless as well, and so what you have is you have one rectangle, which is actually a square, right? Okay, and then you have 4 triangles. So if shape 1 is a triangle, there's 4 of them, and there's one rectangle. Okay, the formula for a triangle, area is 1/2 base times height. Okay, so the area would be 1/2 of, here's a triangle, base and height. Base is 7, height is 6. So the area is equal to half of 42. That gives me 21 each. This is each. Yes, I know I'm going very quickly, but you can walk through here again. Okay, the rectangles. The rectangle's area is equal to base times height. Okay, so the area is 7 times 7. So that area is equal to 49. Okay, there's only one of those, so that works out well. 21 times 4 for those triangles. 21 times 4 gives me what? 84. All right, so then now you're going to have to add 84 plus 49. What does that give me? 133 square millimeters. That's it. It's a composite figure with all of the different shapes. Okay, sorry, let me give you a moment to take a snapshot. Okay, all right, I think that's, okay, all right, that's all we've got for now. So that's our last video for this week. If you've got questions, shoot me a text on Remind, and we will, or I will answer your questions.